Hi, in this tutorial, we're going to talk about using an enhanced for loop with a 2D array. So I've started from a little bit from where we left off on the first tutorial, in which we filled the integer array myInts, and then we also printed it and gathered the sum. So we're going to do some similar work with enhanced loops. So when we work with enhanced loops, we need to think of a 2D array as being an array of arrays. So each row is an array, and we might have 4 different arrays if we have 4 rows. So the whole thing is an array of arrays. So we're going to go ahead and print the name array that we created up here. So we have string names where we made a 2x3 array. So in order to do that, we're going to start with first indicating our outer loop will be an array. So we're going to say string with a bracket. So instead of like a 1D array where we're just indicating the type that's in it, we actually need the entire row for this. So we're indicating a string array here. So we're going to call this a name array. And this is coming from the original array, 2D array names. Then inside for the next inner loop, now we're going to get the individual elements out. So now we're just going to use string without the array notation. We'll just use a singular name, and this is coming from name array. So basically what we're doing here is we're pulling name array out of the 2D array names. So we're pulling a row out. So name array is basically just indicating a row. And then name is each element in that row. So if I want to go ahead and print that, I'm going to just be printing name. Let's put a space next to it, and let's just use a regular print there, just like we did on the last one. And then outside of it, we're going to have a blank system.out.println in order to go to the new line. So when I run this, we should see my name array, the 2x3 array printed, which we see here on the right. So I'm just going to do one more example using our integer array myInts and talk about doing a couple things with that using the enhanced loop. So if I want to traverse myInts, I'm going to start with, obviously we have an integer array, so int with a bracket. We'll call it int array, and that is coming from myInts. Maybe we'll call it int row, and then that way it kind of lets you understand that that's basically pulling out a row from myInts, and each row is its own array. And then inside of that, I'm going to have each element, so from the row, so that's coming from the array int row. So if I wanted to print it, I would just say system.out.print element. Let's say I do want to sum it up. So we'll just create a variable called int, let's call it sum2. And in here, we're going to say that sum2 plus equals element. And then at the end of it, I can just say system.out.print sum2. So now we should be able to compare, when we run this, we should be able to compare sum2 with the original sum, and these should be the same values. So as you can see up here, my sum was 680, and I confirmed it using the enhanced array of 680 again. Now, if I wanted to do just something else, just to show you another algorithm, let's say I want to count up how many even numbers are in the original array, right? So I can say int even equals 0, and then inside of here, we'll do it after we add. So I'm going to just be doing 2 things at once in the same little loop here. I'm going to say if element mod 2 equals 0, right? That would test to see if it's even, then even plus plus. So that would indeed sum up how many even elements there are in the array. So as you can see, we can do a variety of different algorithms within those for loops, depending on whatever you need to do. And then so underneath here, I'll just print that out again, just to double check my work and let you see what we end up with. So when I run it, and we see at the top here, here's my array that I'm starting with, and it looks like I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total even numbers in that array, and that's printing out down here as 6 as well. So many different algorithms you can do, but as you can see, the loop structure remains the same no matter what you're doing.